Is that a poop in my bed, or are you just happy to see me? Anthony on Air podcast is up and running. Jay Sabs is here co-hosting today. How you doing, Jay Sabs?
Oh, I am sweltering, but okay.
Yes, well, it's a hot one out there today. It's a hot one.
It is a swamp ass kind of day.
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp have they're in court and they're fighting, and this story came out that Amber Heard left a deucer in their marital bed. And this is like a whole thing. Now, I don't know anything that happened. You just told me 2 seconds ago there was some kind of abuse between the two. They have this toxic relationship.
Very toxic. And basically, she used to beat him all the time.
She used to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Did he hit her?
I mean, she claimed during one fight, but no.
So this is mostly okay, because I feel like
her.
I remember there was a tape at one point where he was screaming and broke a bottle of wine. That was the last I ever read about this, but I don't remember getting.
I don't know if that was her or his wife.
Oh, this isn't his wife? Who is this?
I know he was married to the other chick, dark hair, pretty. I forgot her name. It's in the article that you sent me to.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll take a look at it. Yeah, so this is the, it's funny. I read this whole thing about how he gave her every chance to not go to court. He's like, this isn't going to be good for you if we go to court. Like, let's not go to court. And on day one, we find out she took a shit in their bed. I
mean, that's kind of a deal breaker, don't you think?
Yeah. If I took a dump in somebody's bed and they were like, hey, trust me, you don't want to go to court, I'd be like, you know what? I don't think we do want to go to court. Let's settle this out of...
I have to say, as disgusting as this is not the first time that I've experienced it or hearing about it.
This is not the first time you heard somebody take a dump in somebody's bed?
Not in someone's bed, but in someone's desk drawer at work.
Go ahead, tell the story.
Used to work on Wall Street.
On the last episode, you talked about somebody that you worked with was a dominatrix who used to blow smoke on people at lunchtime. And now people aren't going to start, they're going to start calling you a liar and not believing these stories.
I wish these stories were not true, but really.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So used to work on Wall Street, mostly all males. What did they like to do to each other? Play pranks.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, this guy put his duty in a bag and then put it in someone's desk. So when the guy walked in the other day, checked his desk drawer, went in there, saw the duty in a clear bag.
Ew.
How disgusting.
That's disgusting. That's not even a good prank. He put it in a plastic, like a Ziploc bag?
A Ziploc bag. Mm-hmm.
That's not even a good prank.
You can ask my sister-in-law, one of our friends who I used to work with. Lee, I'm going to name drop right here.
What is wrong with these people?
I wonder if she remembers that. Really.
That is so disturbing.
But, okay. You want to play it on a coworker? Okay, fine. But you can't duty in the bed that you share with your husband.
Yeah. I
don't even have the door open.
So she used to hit. At least you admit you do it. Some women don't even admit that they poop.
I mean, what?
It's not typical women protocol to admit you go duties there, Janine.
No. Mm-mm.
You better hope the women don't catch you saying this and turn you in.
I know, right?
So, but she used to hit him, so there's something wrong with her, basically, is what I'm gathering from all of this.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless Depp is just making this up because he's taken every drug known to man.
Yeah, he's not great either, is from what I'm getting.
No.
I'm guessing he's not totally innocent from all this. But I also saw something where they tried to sneak their dogs into Australia or from Australia, and they got in. I remember them getting in trouble for that. Supposedly that was all her. He had nothing to do with that. He didn't want to have any. Yeah.
Damn, talk about toxic. But, there's just something about toxic relationship that I've heard the sex is great.
Yeah, yeah. No, you want a little crazy in your significant other, just a little bit,
Yeah,
not too
you know it.
much. Yeah,
You know if they're crazy, it's gonna be good.
it's gonna be really good. Yeah. Some people can't turn that down. They can't turn away from the little bit of crazy.
No.
That's where it's at. Okay, so Depp said that the incident occurred after a party for her 30th birthday. How old is he? What is he? Is he in his 50s?
Oh, I'd say he's about 52, 53.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that a relationship with a 20-year, like a 30-year-old and a 50-year-old can't work. I'm just saying that a relationship between a 30-year-old and a 50-year-old in Hollywood absolutely can't work. Like that's where it like you somebody might be looking at this with their 20-year-old significant other going, "What are you talking about, Anna? It's fine. That's fine." But if you're in Hollywood, it cannot work. It will
No.
not. Hollywood
All
can't.
that easy access to drugs.
Yeah, it
Come on.
can't. It can't do a 20-year difference in Hollywood relationships.
No,
Uh,
definitely not.
so he said it happened in May of 2016, following a blow up between the stormy couple. I understand that the following morning after the party, Miss Heard, or possibly one of her friends, defecated in our shared bed, Depp said on the stand, according to the statement. On May 12th of 2016, Miss Heard confessed to our estate manager, Kevin Murphy, that leaving the feces on the bed had been just a harmless prank, thereby effectively acknowledging that she had been responsible, whereas she had previously sought to blame our dogs. Um, Which, by the way, there is a distinct difference between dog poopies and human poopies.
I think so.
I mean, a
Okay.
huge difference. I mean, I don't know. You know what? I shouldn't say that. I have a Shih Tzu, so his poops are tiny. Maybe like a bigger dog takes bigger human poops. I don't know.
Yes, this is true. But I believe that there's a difference.
Yeah, I
There's a
think so.
difference.
And here's the thing. I understand how in theory, like it could be funny. Like it's fun to be like, you know what? I should leave a shit on the bed. Everybody's going to laugh at that. But actually executing it is where it lose. Like, I'm going to take a shit in your desk is a hilarious thing to say. To actually go through all the
Do it.
mechanics of doing it is disturbing. No?
Oh, it's, oh, God. There's no words.
I blame Adam Sandler for this. If he
I think
wasn't
so
lighting
too.
poop bags on fire years ago, making us all hysterical laughing, we would have never been in any of this trouble. Never. No, I think we lost. I think we lost Janine. It looks like her connection pooped out. See what I did there? All right, we'll wait for her to come back. Yeah, I don't know. Again, like I'm all like I love a good prank. I love a good prank. I think that it's phenomenal when you can fire off like a killer like I got you, I nailed you on this one. But at the same time, like it's got to be funny. It's got to be hilarious and putting a human feces like I said, in theory it's all great, but then when you actually go ahead and do it, it's just I don't know. There's something that's very, very disturbing about that kind of a thing. I just don't find that to be. I think it's because it takes too much time, and too much effort and all of that. I don't know. It's just a very, very bizarre thing. I will say that one of the funniest scenes in The Office is when Andy decides to quit and he goes outside and he leans on the boss's car, Robert California's car, and he poops on his hood. I'm holding up the picture for anybody listening on the podcast version. I'm holding up the picture of it. It's just it's a hysterical thing too, because like he has to hold on to the front part of the hood for balance. Do you see his hand there as he's holding for balance? And he's like looking out on the distance, like he's got like an eagle's stare into the distance there. He's just taking a dump on his boss's car. Again, a hysterical premise, right? Something that we can all laugh at and find funny because it's not a real thing. It didn't really, really happen. But in theory, like when you actually have to go and execute it, it's quite disturbing. It's quite a weird thing. All right, I think we got J Subs back here. Let's bring her back into the fold. I was just talking about how Andy Bernard on The Office took a dump on the boss's car on the hood of the car.
That's right.
It's one of the more hilarious scenes, but it's funny because it's not really real,
Right.
It's not really real. Whereas if you take a dump and put it in somebody's desk drawer or put it on the... And here's the weird thing. I got to say this, and not to defend your buddies there at your old job, but I think it's even worse when you're putting it in your own bed.
Right, exactly.
Because that's...
Why would you want to put that? That's where you sleep.
That's where you sleep. Yeah. And that is a blatant disrespect too for you're basically saying whoever takes care of our house, screw them because I'm going to make them clean up human shit because she probably wasn't going to clean it up herself.
No way.
That's really messed up. Oh. I really hate. I love a good prank. I don't like when there's a prank at anybody's expense. I hate that. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be like ha funny and then okay everything is back to normal. Like I don't like these pranks where people's like actual property gets damaged or like that to me that's not a real good prank.
No, I agree. But I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Which one of our friends do you think would take a dump in someone's desk drawer?
Oh, which one of our friends would? This is a great question that everybody at home can play along with because I'm sure they're all thinking about their friends and they know right away. I think your brother would definitely take a shit on somebody's desk. I will say this, and you can judge me again, but it has long been a dream of mine to quit a job by taking a dump on something, like to pull an Andy Bernard. Like ever since I saw that, I've always wanted to just be like, I quit, and here's a huge dump. I would never actually do it, but the fantasy of it is so enthralling to me. I like to think that I would do it. I probably wouldn't, but I want to think I would.
Not judging you at all.
Yeah, like isn't that the greatest? Like, not a great job, but like if you ever had like a bad boss and it was time to go,
fuck you.
Take a big dump on their desk and leave. That's the best ever. There's no better way to quit. Is there a better way to quit a job than taking a dump on the desk?
I think that is like the ultimate. Fuck you. I quit.
Yeah. So what happened to the guy? What happened between the two guys that they did this? What was the?
Oh, they just kept playing pranks on each other. Like it was an ongoing thing.
I want to know what the prank was right before that sparked the duty in the desk and what was his response?
I have to ask my friend.
You don't remember?
He would know. It's like over 10 years ago.
Clearly it wasn't as memorable as leaving a dump in somebody's desk.
Right.
Actually, now that I think about it, there was an episode of The Office where Todd Packer leaves a dump on Michael Scott's floor.
That's right.
In his office.
And it was like blurred out. I remember that one. And everyone was like, hey, what is that?
And he calls him at the end of the episode and he's like, I left you a package. It should be in your office.
They were trying to figure out who did it. I remember that one. That was a good one.
Maybe so that's two incidences on The Office, one at your office. Maybe this is a thing in the workplace these days.
We'll see.
I don't know. I tend to be a more put a stapler in Jell-O kind of a guy, I think.
Yeah, I like that one too.
The best prank ever on The Office, though, was the meatballs. That was my favorite, most legendary. Do you remember
one was that?
The meatball prank? So Pam leaves. I think it was on maternity leave or something. So Jim has nobody to like fool around with and entertain. So he starts doing things and he does. I think he bakes Dwight's stapler into a meatball, and Stanley laughs hysterical, and he realizes that if it involves a meatball, Stanley will laugh. So he starts like filling his drawers like full of meatballs, and then as it turns out, Stanley and Dwight are working together because they know he's gonna go all crazy, so they can just have me. So they're just doing it to score free meatballs.
Oh, that's a pretty funny one. See?
That's the best one ever. The reverse prank. It's
It
phenomenal.
is.
I think Kanye West is pranking us all by announcing that he's running for president. Did you
He
see
can't be
this?
for real, though. He can't be for real.
So on July 4th, he put the tweet out that he was running for president. And then we went Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and nothing. And now it's Wednesday. And he's doing more press surrounding it. And it turns out that he is legitimately, or as legitimately as he could be running, he's running. He's doing it with the support of his wife, obviously, and Elon Musk is behind him, apparently.
Oh my God.
What happened to Elon Musk? He used to be like such like a great.
Person?
Yeah, I feel like he's losing some points with. He's losing some points these last couple of weeks and months with the COVID thing and reopening
I
his
agree.
factory and people getting sick and now getting behind Kanye and all this stuff. Like,
Supporting Kanye.
what?
I said, and supporting Kanye.
And supporting Kanye, yeah. Well, Kanye supposedly is no longer supporting Trump. This is in a Forbes magazine article, so this is where this story is coming from. Kanye West says he's done with Trump, opens up about his White House bid and about the fact that it'll be damaging to Joe Biden if he does actually run. The thought there is that he'll take a majority of the African American vote, which usually Democratic candidates rely on to win any election.
What is his party?
He has decided to name his party the Birthday Party. Fucking guy.
Oh.
On the one
Well,
hand,
this would just complete 2020 if he wins.
it's so. It is so. I think it's so 2020 that he's even friggin' running.
It's so 2020. That should be like a phrase on a t-shirt. It's so 2020.
Yeah, because if you remember, before Trump ran, he would say he was going to run for kicks.
Yes.
Like that was his like. Guess what, everybody? Get excited because we're going to pretend like we're running for president.
Right.
And it's going to be fantastic. And we're going to sell a lot of books, or we're going to sell our TV show, or whatever the hell he was selling at the time. Right. And it was fun and games for everybody. And the media was party to it. The media would have him on. He would talk so much trash about the real candidates. We would all love it. It was one of our favorite pastimes as Americans. And then one day,
I'm really going to run.
then one day when he was having his laughs and enjoying himself, he took a look at the numbers and he realized, oh, wait a second. The other person sucks so bad. I can actually win this.
I could do this. I could really do this. But nothing would surprise me. So.
And then a lot of people continued to laugh, and then the media stopped laughing, and
they're like, wait a minute.
And then fast forward a bunch of years in 2020, and here we are.
I do have to say, his interview with David Letterman really changed my mind about him.
Kanye West, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, Kanye West was on, and My Next Guest Is, or something, whatever Letterman's Netflix show is. Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, oh, okay, he's not as bad as I thought.
Why? What fill everybody in on why you...
The way he was talking about his mom. And just him in general, I was like surprised that he was kind of like intelligent, should I say?
Yeah.
So it did change my mind. I'm still not going to vote for him, but
I'm going to tell you something. Maybe a lot of people don't know this or realize. I'm a massive Kanye West fan. Massive.
His music?
I think, yes, musically, he is a genius.
No, he is.
I think that 40% of the reason, like 40% of Jay-Z is Kanye.
Yep, I agree.
Because when those two got together, that was like...
that was it.
That was it. That was a production team like George Martin and the Beatles. Like that's how much it just worked. It fed each other, you know? You really couldn't have
I
one.
didn't know you like rap.
I'm not a huge, I can't be like, I'm a huge rap fan because I'd be found out in 3 seconds, but I like good music and you know, when things bubble to the top, like.
No, he's good. He's good.
And I will say like Lucifer and Touch the Sky. Like there's some that are just like you're talking about greatest, not only greatest hip hop songs of all time, but greatest songs of all time.
I
You
agree
know,
with that. Our
um,
friend Frank would probably not agree with that.
I don't know. Yeah, well, unless James Hetfield is on a track, he's like, this sucks.
James and actually, did they perform together? Metallica and Kanye?
Uh,
Or am I thinking of Metallica and Jay-Z? We gotta find this
Jay Z
out.
performed a bunch with Linkin Park, and then he also did Coldplay. Jay Z's on a couple of Coldplay tracks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find this out.
Yeah, I
Frank
don't
would
know.
probably know though.
Frank would probably know. I don't know if he was a part of the Metallica thing, but I do think he's really smart, and I also could appreciate him from a fashion standpoint because when I first saw his fashion line, I was like, "That's awful. This poor man is going to ruin his life," and
But
people
then
embraced it. It took off.
I know.
Yeah, and then plus
And then
he also kind of made baggy clothes for dads cool again, and I could appreciate that. Fat Kanye
dad bod.
is a big. I'm a big fan. Any dad will be a big fan of Fat Kanye. Yeah, put on a couple extra
That's funny.
pounds, wear that looser sweatshirt. I can't speak against that. I'm on board with that.
You're on for it.
But yeah, so he announced that he's running on the birthday party. He no longer supports President Trump. He's okay with siphoning off black votes from the Democratic nominee, thus helping Trump win. He says, and I quote, "I'm not denying it. I just told you to say that the black vote is a Democratic is a form of racism and white supremacy." End quote.
Ooh.
He also admits that he's never voted in his life. He said he had COVID back in February. He's suspicious of a coronavirus vaccine, terming vaccines the mark of the beast.
Mm.
He believes Planned Parenthoods have been placed inside cities by white supremacists to do the devil's work,
Damn.
and that he
That's deep.
envisions a White House organizational model based on the secret country of Wakanda in Black Panther.
All right, maybe not as intelligent as I thought first.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm all for saying we need to fix our country and reorganize things, but when you say, "Hey, the comic book, the way they did it in the comic books, that's how we should do it,"
In that book.
I just don't know if people
Right.
are going to go along with that.
Oh,
You know, albeit as beautiful as Wakanda was, I'd move there in 3 seconds if it was a real place. To be totally honest with you, it's a fictional movie. So, by the way, and I should point this out too that I want to get the exact thing. This is from Forbes. He said all these things over the course of a 4-hour rambling session of interviews on Tuesday.
oh my God.
So this all came from 4 hours. Now, when you let crazy ramble for 4 hours, you're gonna get some great stuff just like this.
Exactly.
You know,
Especially him.
especially I find that like if you listen to even a random podcast of ours, like the 20-minute ones aren't as crazy as the 45 an hour ones.
That's true. So how many minutes left on this one?
Just a few moments. We're gonna end it before we start to get into the crazy rambling part.
Exactly, right?
But I mean, he's like, I thought when we didn't hear from him for a couple of days that this was just like a goofy
Joke.
4th of July
Yeah.
thing. And
No.
now I'm kind of like, I think he's really going to do this for at least a little while.
But here's my thing. He can't actually really run now, right?
Good point. He's missed the deadline to have his name appear on the ballot for certain states.
Right.
There's all different
Right.
deadlines. So he's going to miss a majority of that. But people can still write him in, and I think that's what he's going to count on, which I'm not sure in the history of our country. Don't quote me here, but I don't think a write-in candidate has ever won.
Probably not.
Because if there's one thing about Americans is we want to vote for somebody, but we're not going to go to the length of writing in the name. I mean, that's just great.
Right.
We'll fill in a dot, but writing a whole name in, I don't think so. We'll
No.
forget.
Going to the post office.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
We'll forget by the time we get in there. I'll be like, oh shit,
What?
I was going to vote for Kanye. I forgot to write his name in. I knew I forgot something today. But yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be the 2020 entertainment. This is going to be the entertainment portion of politics for at least the next month or so.
Oh We'll see. With Corona.
We kind of
No,
need
let
it.
me ask you something.
Kanye might be the hero that we need right now to kind of take our mind off of some shit. Go ahead.
Tomorrow's election day. Biden, Trump, Kanye. Who you voting for?
I might write Kanye in as the goof. I might do it.
Okay.
I might do it for the so I could take a picture of it and tweet it out and
be like, I actually voted for Kanye West.
Look what I did, everybody.
Look what I did. Let me go take a shit in the bed and me and my wife share.
That's gonna be my little social media post. A shit on my boss's desk. A vote for Kanye. And just 2020. Just picture me like this, like 2020. Like, what do you want from me? I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wonder, because that's what everybody's going to tune in to see. That's what I would want to see. Like, am I curious to see who our next president is going to be? Kind of. Do I think it matters which old man wins the next run? Not really. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, but I don't really think it matters. But I'll tune in to see what percentage of the vote Kanye got.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that, I'd like to know too.
I would like to know that. Because I bet you he could probably scoop up a good amount.
Like 33%?
More? I would no. I would put him in the 15%.
Okay.
I would say
we're gonna look back on this podcast and you're gonna be wrong. Because it's gonna be 45%.
He's gonna be the next president. But here's the thing, though. I don't know why. Clearly, there's a large portion of the country that could care less for the current president or the former vice president.
Yes.
And I feel like what Kanye is doing is what any other person should kind of be doing that thinks that they can win.
I mean,
the problem is they're all affiliated with a political party, and they don't want to hurt the chances. You know, the same way that Mitt Romney's not running for president because he doesn't want to hurt the chances of the Republicans coming in is the same reason why, Buttigieg isn't running as an independent, or Bloomberg, because he doesn't want to hurt the Democratic chances of winning. And that sucks. You need like a guy like Kanye that's like, screw it. Birthday party.
Whatever, I'm gonna do this.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah. Why? Who would you vote for if election day was tomorrow? You don't have to say who. You can say the serious candidate or Kanye.
I mean, like, Trump is our president. So is Kanye really that much off?
From Trump? Not really.
I'd probably vote for Kanye.
If Kanye won, he'd basically be taking the same trajectory, coming from entertainment. Media thinks it's hilarious. Oh, this is starting to get serious. Oh boy, this is getting really close. Oh no, now Kanye's president.
It's exactly what happened with Trump. So, wait, Trump is really president?
Yeah. It's like when you're drinking and you're at the bar and there's somebody there and you're like, they're not that good looking. And then like 2 shots later, like, you know what? I should really give them a chance. And then it's like, oh, look, we have a baby now. That's really, it goes that. Sometimes it just happens that fast.
Oh, whoops.
That's kind of what happens. Let me dance with him as a goof. Like, this will be funny. My friends will get a kick out of it.
Exactly.
It's like he's my husband now.
Back up on him.
We backed up on President Trump a little bit, and now we got 4 years. Maybe 8.
Probably 8.
But here's the thing. Just the same way that we're attracted to talking about this, I think a lot of people are. I think he's going to get a ton of mileage out of this. By the way, he already has a vice presidential candidate. He's not saying who.
Oh.
He's not saying who. I mean, I would guess it's probably going to be Elon. That's
probably.
That would be my guess. I will say that if it's Elon Musk, like, you have a very intelligent, entrepreneurial dude.
That's true.
Very smart guy, smarter than most of the. I would say Elon Musk is smarter than the last 42 presidents we've had.
This is probably true. Oh God.
It's unfair to judge those first three because they were just kind of getting it all started. It was years
they were
ago. They
like,
didn't have the
what do we
internet.
have to do here?
Yeah,
Okay, let's see.
yeah. But I would easily put Elon Musk intelligence-wise over our last 42 presidents. Easily.
True.
Yeah, I think this could get interesting. I think it could
Let's
get
see.
interesting.
Oh boy.
Here's one thing I learned, Janine. Let's not underestimate 2020. That's the thing.
Definitely not.
That's the thing.
Definitely not.
As a departing topic here, the internet is undefeated. This is a slogan that I've adhered to for the longest time, and it's always being proven, constantly being proven, and it's been proven once again because the internet won. Because one of the, let me see here, Shaman Walton, who is a member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, so in the San Francisco government, he has introduced a bill to become a law over there called the Karen Act. So
boy.
we legitimately, for what became a goof on the internet, calling complaining women Karens, we now have potentially a Karen Act on the books.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah, no,
I can't stand Karens.
Because well, it would be great if we could just spot a Karen and arrest them. That would be the best ever. But that's not what this bill provides.
She has her hand up and she's looking around for people to agree with her. I mean, am I right? Am I right?
Wouldn't it be great if just the SWAT team came in and took her away?
Let's get her. Let's get her. Let's get her.
No, this does not mean that if you're a Karen, you're going to get arrested. It just means that if you call 911 on somebody and say that they're doing something and they're not doing it, essentially that you can get in a lot more trouble than what you have now.
I think we need to end because I hear someone crying.
Okay, that's it. But the internet won big time today, Janine. Karen Act is up for a vote. That's huge.
Very happy about this.
This is just like the time we named that boat Bodie McBoatface because the internet said so. It's basically the same thing. All right, Karens. Yes, to all the Karens, thanks so much for listening. AnthonyOnAir.com has all the details on links to share the podcast around. And thanks to Janine for being here for this episode. And we'll see you on the next one.